Why Mexico is suing US gun companies for fueling a drug war. The legal action initiated in Massachusetts state is reportedly the first of its kind in which a foreign government is using the American judicial system to bring American gun makers to justice. Mexico's national government on Wednesday sued 10 gun manufacturers in a US federal court, accusing them of fueling a devastating drug war that cost the Latin American country thousands of lives every year. Mexico has accused the gun makers, which includes giants such as Smith and Wesson and Barrett Firearms, of recklessly promoting the flow of firearms to cartels and has sought 10 billion in compensation. The lawsuit says the Mexican government and its citizens have for decades been victimized by a deadly flood of military style and other particularly lethal guns that flows from the US across the border, and the flow of weapons is the foreseeable result of the defendants' deliberate action and business practices. The legal action initiated in Massachusetts state is reported the first of its kind in which a foreign government is using the American judicial system to bring American gun makers to justice. Why is Mexico suing American gun companies? Mexico, which is America's southern neighbor, is accusing American gun companies of unethically allowing their products to cross the border. As opposed to the US, where gun laws are frequently criticized as lax, Mexico has strict regulations on gun ownership. Experts believe this has caused Mexican criminal organizations to secure weapons from the US, as gangs use Americans with clean criminal records to buy weapons at shops, which are then smuggled into Mexico. According to a report by the New York Times, 70% of guns traced in Mexico between 2014 and 18 originated in the United States. In the lawsuit, Mexico has accused gun manufacturers of knowingly promoting the supply of arms to criminal gangs south of the border. It cites the example of 3 guns made by manufacturer Colt said it says that has been directly intended for sale to its people. One such weapon is special edition .338 pistol engraved with the face of Mexican historical figure Emilio Zapata with a quote believed to be "It is better to die standing than to live on your keys." The same pistol ended up being used in the murder of an investigative journalist in 2017. The lawsuit says US gun makers are allowed to sell to licensed distributors, despite blazing red flags indicating that a gun dealer is conspiring the straw purchases or others to traffic defendants' guns into Mexico. What is lawsuit significant? Although Mexico wants 10 billion from gun makers in damage, legal analysts are skeptical whether the lawsuit would succeed given the strong protectionist that a federal US law extends to manufacturers, shielding them from being sued by victims of gun violence or other relatives. Experts also believe it is difficult to establish wrongful involvement by the companies themselves, as selling to distributors who have criminal links might not necessarily be a crime. However, the case is bound to increase the political support for strengthening regulations in the US by gaining attention from Democrat President Joe Biden. A White House spokesperson noted on Wednesday that Biden has asked the US Congress to repeal the federal law of protecting gun makers. In Mexico, the number of killings due to drug war has remained stubbornly constant over the years, despite leftist presidents Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador's hugs no bullets, her campaigning in which the government aims at addressing the root causes of the bloodshed. Last year, the violence claimed over 36,000 lives and other 16,000 have already died this year as per official figures. Thank you.